All right, my friends, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about something that I have learned over the past year that has really helped facilitate my workflow. It has made me think differently about the kind of work I create, and it has made me realize how much I've left on the table with other projects and just with things in life in general. And it has to do with how much I overcomplicate things. And so that's what I want to ask you today is how many things in life do you overcomplicate? What does that look like to you? What do you have going on that perhaps you're overthinking about, and that you're putting in too much effort, spending too much time because you believe that's what you have to do. You know, you have this work ethic and you have this system and you just have to abide by it. You have to be loyal to it, but it puts you behind. You realize it, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is that you need to do. So this really applies to me quite a bit. Anyway, this is July, what is this? The 5th? The 6th? Yes, this is July 6th. I hope you had a good 4th of July weekend. I hope it was safe. You still have all your fingers. Every appendage should be exactly where it was on July 3rd. You know, my life has gotten easier as I've gotten older in a lot of ways. Because, you know, you get tired of trying so hard after a while. You begin to see patterns that emerge. Some that work, some that don't. And there's a lot of them that are just absolutely counterproductive. A lot of them are positive, some of them are negative. People have patterns in relationships where they believe that they've got to communicate, but they don't know how to communicate well. So they approach every controversy, they approach every confrontation the same way, and it's not working. In fact, that's why a lot of marriages and relationships fail. They do this with economics. They do this with some kind of hobby or an endeavor. And sometimes things pan out. Other times they don't. But I think in many cases, we actually overcomplicate a great deal of things, if not most things. And we just begin to catch on to that as we get to be a little bit older. And we're left scratching our heads and going, why couldn't I have learned this sooner? But I did not come to the realization of what I'm about to tell you on my own. I've read a few things that has brought this to light. You know, I was reading a book called The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, and he's the big record producer, music producer, whatever you want to call him. You know if you saw him. He's got the big, long, bushy beard, long hair, kind of looks like a hippie. He's kind of always looked like a hippie. But he speaks a lot of sense. He's had a lot of things work for him really well. And a lot of the things he says is rather unorthodox, contrary to what a lot of people tell you. You know, there's a lot of YouTube gurus out there talk to you about the hustle, the method, the algorithm, and the loyalty, the consistency. And I don't really believe in a lot of that anymore. I used to. And this is not just about YouTube, by the way, although it will be used as a large source of my example here, because it's very relative to me. But Rick Rubin's, he's a very intuitive kind of guy. And what I like about him is he marches to the beat of his own drum, and it's actually worked for him. And he encourages everyone who talks to him to do the same thing. But he tries to get them out of the haze that they're currently walking through. And we're all walking through a haze at some point in our life, aren't we? It's kind of hard not to, because none of us really have a lot of this figured out. And we listen to a lot of people who claim that they've got it figured out. They give us advice, and then we realize at some point they really don't know what they're talking about either. Whatever they're doing, whatever they're talking about is not working for me. And Rick Rubin will tell you when it comes to the creative act, which I'll put a link for down in the description. You should read this book. It's an easy read, but it's so good. It really helped me a lot. But he'll tell you, create for yourself. Make what pleases you in whatever it is you do. Listen to what your instinct is telling you. Stop belaboring. Stop procrastinating. Act on your ideas and quit stalling. Don't think too much and put the work out there. It's a lot like, Seth Godin, who's an entrepreneur. He founded Yahoo, by the way, but he's another really good guy to listen to. But he'll tell you very, very similar things to this, and their approaches are just a little bit different, but they make a lot of sense. So why I'm saying all this is because I've made a lot of work. I've made a lot of videos. I've created a lot of content that I have never actually published. And some things I just have sitting there in the background marinating. Never quite sure if I'm actually going to do anything with them or not. Some things I toss out altogether because I made an assessment of my own work and said, it's not any good. I'm going to get rid of it. No one's going to watch this. It's not good at all. Rick Rubin would say, did you like it when you made it? Did you believe in it when you did it? Put it out there. Stop thinking about it so much. So a friend of mine, he's got his own YouTube channel also. His channel is called Eric's Excursions. He made a video for 4th of July that I really like a lot. And I told him so. I said, you should be proud of that video. And he said, thanks, that means a lot to me coming from you. He said, I really didn't feel good about that video. And I said to him what I think Rick Rubin would have said, was just create the content and put it out there and let the people decide whether they like it or not. And even if they don't, it doesn't matter because it's your work. It's what you did. You're happy with it. Some people will sidle up next to you. Some people won't. Some people will like it. Others won't. But get it out there. And as you keep doing it, you'll create, your instinct for what you're doing will become better and better over time. It really will. When I read this in that book, The Creative Act, I had to do a lot of thinking. And it was like last year that I read the book. I didn't totally, fully embrace the concept of just acting, just getting it done, just complete the process. I didn't fully embrace that right then. I tried, but for me it was a process. And so lately, I have started going back through my old videos that I've never published, I've never edited. I'm starting to edit them, and I'm starting to publish them. And they're old videos. And the reason why I didn't do anything with them is I thought no one would like them. But when I get through with it, I look at it and go, why did I think that? You see, just because I don't like something that I made doesn't mean somebody else won't. You see, this is where we get stuck a lot of times. We think that, if something is not the very best, as in our own determination, if we didn't give the very best, I mean, we might have felt like we did and just did. We look back at it and go, that's garbage, that's crap. If we feel like that, we feel like everyone else is going to feel that way. Not everybody feels that way. Sometimes you'll create something and you'll put it out there into the ether, And there are going to be people out there that interpret your work entirely different than what you ever intended. And it might be better for that. The flaws that you see in your own work might be the very things that turn someone else's life around, that inspire others to begin to act upon something. So if you find yourself in a quandary, and maybe you're somewhat creative. Everybody's creative, honestly. Everybody is creative. But you're doing something. You're trying something. Maybe you picked up a musical instrument. Maybe you're journaling. Maybe you're trying to write a book. Maybe you're taking a class. You're going to take on public speaking, or maybe you're going to volunteer somewhere. And you feel like, wow, I am not cut out for this. I am not the guy or the gal for this. This is not me. I thought it was. I thought I'd enjoy this, but I realized that I'm not doing it the way that everyone else is telling me I should be doing it. Like, I'm not measuring up. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe that's exactly the change that needs to be made. Maybe that's exactly what somebody else needs to hear or to see. And I say, do the work. Put yourself out there. Put your work out there. And let it go. Just let it go. Forget about it and move on. I'm telling you guys, listen, I have a number of videos that are just sitting there. That's been sitting there for several years. I've never done anything with, but I'm going back through them now. I didn't do anything with them because I didn't think you would want to watch them. But you know what? That's really not what's important. What's important is that I just do the work and put it out. We never know what might become of something. We've got to stop overthinking. We've got to stop trying to determine how everyone else might think of our actions, our abilities, our output. We've got to stop thinking about all that and just move. Go through the process and complete the process. I have a video right now, and it's probably going to be my next one I work on. It's been sitting on one of my cameras for about a year and a half. You know why? Not because I didn't think you guys would like it, because I made it on the night that my mother passed away. And I've never been able to bring myself to actually go through with it, to actually finish making it. And I don't completely know why. I've been thinking about it a lot over the past couple days, that I just need to complete the process. It was already begun when I hit record on the camera. My mother would tell me that you need to finish it. But this is the position so many of us find ourselves in. We don't believe in ourselves. We think we need to, but you don't really. You just need to act. We overthink. We try to think for other people when we really don't have any right to. We don't take chances. We want to be sure of things. But the truth is, we're never going to enjoy life more than when we just let it blow up. Just let it do what it does. Just put it out there and let it do what it does and move on to the next thing. That's why we're not moving on to the next thing in many cases, because we're still stuck back here. I hope that's helped. I hope it's meant something to you. Somehow or another, it's applied to you in a much different way, I'm sure. I don't know, because not everybody has a YouTube channel. Has this made you think? Leave a comment down below. If it's relative to you, or not relative, if it's relevant to you, tell me how. Maybe we all learn something from this and move on to bigger, better things. All right? All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I wish you the best. And I let's just see what happens from here. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime,